Hello, everyone. This is Brad on the Saddle Rock Sports Network. This is just a quick rundown of how playoffs are going to work for the 2023-2024 basketball postseason, at least to my understanding with the information that we have at hand and kind of where teams are standing at the moment. The first thing to understand is the CHSAA Seeding and Selection Index and how that works. It's a combination of two things, the Max Preps ranking and the CHSAA RPI index. The RPI number is strictly mathematics. It's an averaged combination of a team's win-loss percentage plus their opponent's averaged win-loss percentage plus their opponent's averaged win-loss percentage. So basically, if you have a great win-loss record and you've done that just by beating teams that haven't really beat anybody else or had a weak schedule, then your RPI number is going to go down. Conversely, if the teams that you played only have great records because they've been playing weaker teams, your opponent's percentage goes down and then your RPI goes down. So RPI is very important, but the most important thing that every team can control in that stat is their own win-loss record. The Max Preps ranking is a little less straightforward. They don't tell you exactly how they come up with their number on the Max Prep site, but they do say that teams that beat higher ranked teams should get a bump in their ranking, and losing to a higher ranked team should not really impact their ranking very much. Plus, they also take into account playoff wins, which means as district playoff happens, that Max Preps ranking will change as teams advance in their district tournaments. Also, a couple of very important notes to keep in mind. Head-to-head matchups do not matter at all, unless some districts decide that it does matter in the seeding of their individual district play. So the good old school league championships and crosstown rivalries really don't matter directly in terms of playoff implications other than their impact on a team's win-loss record and their various index rankings. The CHSAA Selection and Seeding Index is so important because the top 32 teams based on that index are going to advance to regionals. However, if a team wins their district tournament and is not ranked in that top 32 according to the index, they will get to advance to a regional playoff. We're going to start by looking at the Girls 1A CHSAA Seeding and Selection Index information. This is data that was pulled today, Saturday, February 3rd, 2024. And this is the data. I've just organized it and structured it based on district and then rankings within each district. Gives us an idea of what district tournament play could look like and what seeding might look like. Again, different districts might have different rules or criteria. I can't really speak to each and every one of those. District 1 is kind of interesting in that Caprock Academy sitting at number 34, just outside the bubble, but statistically very close to making it into that top 32. As we go down and look at District 2, maybe the strongest overall district in terms of sending the most number of teams into regional play, 6 out of 7 looking pretty good, with Wiley coming in seated at position number 37, maybe a little too far outside, going to have to win the district tournament, going to be pretty tough with Kit Carson and McClave and Eads, top 10 schools all in that same district. District 3 is looking pretty interesting with 4 teams in the top 32. The bottom 3 probably not going to be able to advance to regionals unless they win their district tournament. District 4 is also pretty interesting. 3 teams in the top 32. Weldon Valley sitting at number 35, right on the cusp. A couple more regular season wins, some good district play. They could grab one of those top 32 spots. District 5 also looking very strong heading into district play. 7 out of the 8 teams in this district currently in that top 32 spot, with Bethune on the bubble, maybe just a tad too far away from that coveted number 32 spot and already in a tough district. Everything's going to have to fall just right for them to advance. District 6 is going to be my fun district to watch because Creed could really mess things up for several teams out there. They are at that number 33 spot, just a hair away from the top 32. If they happen to win their district and beat Sangre de Cristo, currently seeded number 1 in district play, then they will bump up and push somebody else out of one of those top 32 spots. District 7 is also a really interesting one to watch. They have 3 teams right on the bubble. There could be a lot of jostling back and forth in who advances where based on district play. Deer Trail holding on to that number 32 spot, but just ahead of them is Pikes Peak Christian at number 31, Hanover at 29. Look for those teams to kind of bounce back and forth quite a bit in the next couple of weeks. District 8 has several top 10 teams, with Front Range Baptist sitting at number 36. Everything's going to have to go just right for them to advance forward into the playoffs. District 1 also. Now let's take a look at the boys' side of the CHSAA Seeding and Selection Index. Again, this is starting with district number 1, really interesting. 2 teams in the green, a couple on the bubble, and 1 just outside. Expect a lot of movement back and forth between Dove Creek, Ouray, and Caprock in the next couple of weeks of regular season play, and as district play plays out, might see Caprock bump, and hopefully Ouray and Dove Creek can still stay in that top 32. And arguably the toughest district in the state, District 2, currently with the number 1 and 2 seeded teams in Cheyenne, Wells, and McClave, both coming out of District 2. This one's going to be a fun district tournament to watch. Wiley right on the bubble, sitting there in that oh so dangerous spot number 33, wanting to jostle up just one more spot and hope there's not many major upsets. Look for them to maybe make a bump in these next 2 weeks. District 2 probably going to send 6 teams to District 2 will likely send 5, maybe 6 teams into regional play. District 3 has a lot of color variation there. 3 teams likely to advance, a 4th and a 5th kind of on the bubble there in Kim Branson and in Walsh. District tournament play will be the make or break factors for both Kim Branson and Walsh. District 4 will likely send 2, potentially 3 teams into regional play. Briggsdale and Fleming right on the bubble, just outside of the bubble. Look to see how they jostle back and forth in their stats and rankings over the next couple of weeks. District 5 looking really solid. Definitely will be sending 4 teams on to regional play. High Plains on one of those outer bubble positions at number 38. Going to have to perform well in the next couple of weeks to advance. District 6 also looking to send 4 teams safely on to regional tournament. District 7 is also one of my interesting districts to watch in terms of implications to the rest of the playoff bracket. Miami Yoder sitting right there in the blue bubble at position number 30. Now, that's not safe and it's not necessarily in danger, but if they happen to drop below 32 and then end up winning their district tournament, they too could bump someone else out of that coveted number 32 spot. So watch this district. Let's pay attention to that district play. This one could be really interesting. District 8 performing very well in the regular season. Already have 4 top 10 teams in the district, likely to send a 5th, maybe even a 6th if Denver Academy of Torah performs well over the next couple of weeks. We'll see what District 8 does. I hope you found that informative. I'll be posting updates like this every week as we get closer to the playoffs and as seeding indexes change and get modified. Hopefully give you as a fan some idea of where your school might be playing and how their playoff chances might improve based on how they've performed this season. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you at the next ball game.